Akron Athletics presents Zips Weekly with John Groce. Sponsored by Bryant Heating and Cooling and Hilton Hotels in Akron and Fairlawn. Hello again, everyone. Welcome to a brand new edition of Zips Weekly with head basketball coach John Groce. Well, right now the Zips are 20-7 overall, 12-2 in the Mid-American Conference, all alone in first place in the MAC as we get set for two more big games this week, beginning Tuesday night down in Athens against the Ohio Bobcats, then back home Saturday at 6 o'clock against Northern Illinois. Should be one of the biggest nights of the year as we say goodbye to five seniors that have done so much for this basketball program through the years. And Coach Litz stops right here because I know you'd love to see a full house for that one to say goodbye to those guys.
Oh, no question. Those guys have certainly deserve it, and have earned a great crowd on Saturday. And we're going to honor those guys and what they've meant not only to our program, but the athletic department, the university, the city, the way they've represented themselves both on and off the court, just in a first-class manner. And obviously they've won a lot. You know, their 5-year run here, and hopefully we continue to keep this thing going, you know, for, I keep saying, a couple more months, right? But, you know, we're looking forward to honoring those guys on Saturday night.
We don't have time to go over all the exploits that these five guys have had, but it's always an emotional night. It is for me to see these guys come in as maybe 17, 18-year-old kids and leave as young men after what they've done for you in the program.
Yeah, no question, Joe, and especially in today's day and age where there's so much of rosters changing from year to year. It's just it's a different climate now than when I started. And to be able to have, you know, whether it's Freeman for 5 years, you know, Dawson now for 4 to 5 years, and he still has another year left. Greg for 5 years, you know, Sammy now for 2 years. The sacrifices Caleb made to come here and be a part of this class for this year is just an Ali then coming back to join us. You know, really, it feels like he never left, quite frankly.
You're right.
You know, he's been here 4 of the 5 years. So the experience those guys have had with us over a long period of time is very rare in the way college basketball is put together today. So it's a special class. They've accomplished a lot, both on and off the court.
Last week, Coach, we sat here and talked about how challenging a week it was going to be. Even though we lost at Toledo, we sit here today still in first place all alone.
Yeah, obviously we'll let that stuff take care of itself. We got 4 games left. We got the first one is at Ohio. We got to make sure we're ready to go. I mean, they've won 6 of their last 7 games. Right. Believe me, I know how hard it is to win down there. Yeah. And so we got to make sure that we're ready to go, have great preparation, just continue to take it one day at a time. You know, we split this past week. It was a big week. You know, obviously we were able to get through the weekend and have a game lead in first place, and all that's great. But we can still play a lot better.
Okay.
You know, I thought that down at Toledo, obviously we didn't make shots. We talked about that after the game. And I thought we had some defensive lapses, in particular in the second half. And then in the Kit game, you know, I thought our emotion, our passion, the opposite of the Toledo game. You know, our effort level, our toughness, and our shot making.
Yes.
You know, we really shot the ball well. Free throw line, we shot the ball well from 3. But our defensive detail, in particular, defending the three-point line, you know, we let a guy like Solinger get loose a little bit. Our rotations weren't quite on point. We need to be a little bit better with some of our details defensively. A lot of room for growth here as we head into the last few weeks of the season.
Okay, right now let's go back up to Toledo this past Tuesday night. Big game, the Zips against the Rockets. It was for first place. And, Coach, it's kind of a slow start. I think there's 15:48 left in the first half. We're up 4-1.
Yeah, no question. Again, it was a weird game because I thought defensively we were really good in the first half. Second half we weren't as good. You know, our shot making eluded us for the majority of the night, although our offense was significantly better in the second half. Unfortunately, we were able to stop Toledo in the first half, but we weren't quite able to stop them at the level we needed to in the second half to come out on top as they put, you know, near 50 points on the board in the second half. So, you know, we've got to put 2 halves together, both offensively and defensively. You know, I think we've been going into the Kent game, and we were a little better in the Kent game. where we'd have one half of great defense and one half of great offense. We have to get those two working in concert.
Coach, I looked out on the floor early in the game. You had one of the biggest teams you've seen out there for the Zips. I think you had Freeman, Ali, Hunter, and Prey. They're all in together. That's about as big as you can get.
Yeah, we had pretty good size. We have good size, obviously. When you have Ali and Sammy and Reek out there, you're 6'8", 6'9", 6'7", and with good length, good size. One of the bigger 3, 4, 5, certainly front lines in the Mid-American Conference.
We're down 32-22 at the half and got down by as many as 15 points in the second half, Coach. Then you got to be proud the way your team fought back in that one.
Yeah, I was. I thought we showed a lot of toughness. We really made some shots there late in the game. We just kept swinging and gave ourselves a chance. We actually cut it to 4 twice.
Right.
The last one with about 2 and change left in the game, and we had a critical turnover on a pick and roll pass there that could have given us a chance because the roller was open to cut it to 2. But it is what it is. We're playing a really good team on the road. They're very good at home. We're aware of that. The best teams in college basketball and the best programs play well at home and win at home, quite frankly. So we know that. And it was a great challenge. Unfortunately, we didn't come out on top, but you're right, Joe. I loved our toughness.
There's Ali with a shot from the corner to get the Zips closer. The one thing I noticed all through that second half, Coach, Toledo kept making tough shots. They made 52% of their shots in the second half, and a lot of those were tough shots.
Well, especially the last two, right, that
Right.
come to mind in the guts of the game. When we had the 4-point deficit, we cut it to 4. We're right there with a couple minutes to go with an opportunity to win. And give Tyler Cochran credit. In particular, the second one he made,
Right.
Joe, was left-handed, off the glass, over the top of and through Freeman's chest as he was falling down a little bit. His momentum was going down. So he made a big-time shot, man. I'll give it to him. 2 big-time shots late in the game that obviously, with the game hanging in the balance, were huge for Toledo.
Zips had 4 players in double figures. Toledo wins that one 72-64. We're going to take a break, come back and talk about that big win over Kent State Saturday right after this.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting more than just a technician. You're getting someone who pays attention to your needs and the little things that make a big difference. It takes a dealer you can rely on. And to keep your family warm this winter,
Here, let me show you how this works.
it takes Bryant.
Bryant, whatever it takes.
And to keep your family comfortable, it takes E.H. Roberts Heating and Cooling. Find them at ehroberts.com.
Come on over and check out what we're doing. Let's go!
Here we go now.
Okay, welcome back to Zips Weekly with head basketball coach John Groce. If you were one of the over 5,000 fans that were at the game Friday night against Kent State, what a spectacle. Coach, when you walked out there and saw that crowd, everybody dressed in white, that had to be fun for you.
Yeah, it was an incredible environment.
Yeah.
It really was. Unbelievable. Can't credit Zips Nation enough. They were a huge part of the win. Thought our student body was great, and the community obviously came out in full force. It was a great night from an environment standpoint, and obviously we were fortunate enough to play well enough to get the win. So we need them to keep coming back, obviously starting with senior night on Saturday against Northern, and then hopefully in that final one against Eastern. We only have 2 home games
right.
left. Joe, it's flown by so fast, and I hope people have appreciated this team and this class, in particular our senior class, as much as we do.
Yeah. Coach, you've been a player playing in that type of environment. The adrenaline starts flowing. All of a sudden you start doing things you maybe didn't think you could do.
Yeah, or doing things you shouldn't be
That's
doing.
right.
And so that's that balance
Yeah.
you have to find of playing with emotion and not letting it become an emotional situation. I always tell them the difference between emotion and emotional is only 2 letters. It's just very small, but it's a huge difference, because when you play with emotion, you can still play with passion and effort and motor and physicality and toughness while being able to stay focused on doing your job, one possession at a time. If you get emotional, then it steals your mind. And the next thing you know, it's no longer about, hey, what do I need to do next to help my team either get a stop or get a great shot to score. It becomes about something else, and it becomes a personalized agenda. And that's a delicate balance in games like that. Usually veterans, Joe, balance that better than younger guys. And obviously we have an older, experienced team.
Exactly. Right now, let's go back to the Jar on Friday night. As we said, over 5,000 fans, national TV audience. The Zips now, Coach, are 5-1 when playing on national TV. So that's always big when they can watch your team play across the country. Zips are going to stretch that lead, I think, out there. They're up 17-9. But the one thing we talked about after the game, boy, Kent just wouldn't go away. They just kept hitting shots.
And I thought a big part in the game where they really stayed close was the end of the first half. You know, obviously Greg ends up getting a big steal and dunk that gave us a little momentum and pushed it to 2 possessions. But they had cut it to 1 possession. I thought, you know, their ability to play through the extended media was better than ours late in the first half, quite frankly. I thought our guys needed to fight through fatigue a little bit better. I had already used 1 timeout just close to the 8-minute mark for them to try to get them get their breath back and get them more centered there physically. But we didn't have the luxury to be able to do that at the 4-minute mark. And so I thought that they made a push there and did a great job. But our guys responded. I thought Greg's play at the end of the half was huge. There you see on the highlights, Prather, I thought, gave us good minutes again, makes the 1 more pass, doesn't turn it over, gets an offensive rebound, makes both free throws. You know, Dawson on the drive here, finishing, making a good read. And then here's the play I was alluding to, Joe, at the end of the half, the dribble, steal, and dunk that took it back to 2 possessions. I thought was a huge play, a great way for us to finish the half with some momentum. Started out the second half well. I thought we got the ball to places and people that we wanted it to in sweet spots, and then they delivered and made some plays. You know, here you see Greg driving the ball off of Freeman's Gortat screen for a layup. Great job by Mike Dawson there on a defensive rotation. We get a steal, and then he bangs a 3 here. So I thought we just kept coming. I thought offensively we were pretty good in the second half. Defensively, once again, not quite as good. Very similar to Toledo in that regard. We've got to find a way to sustain defensive impact for both halves.
I thought you did a great job, Coach, in game management because Enrique Freeman picked up his 3rd foul fairly early in the second half, and you had to make some big decisions with him.
Yeah, just to usually you know me, I'm going to play him. We're gonna play to win. So we set him for just a couple minutes, and then we put him back in and we rolled, and he was absolutely terrific. I thought the last 15 minutes of the game, from a rebounding and offensive perspective, it may have been his best performance in an Akron uniform in that 15-minute stretch where he's making threes, scoring inside, making free throws, rebounding the ball. Another steal here. You see us getting out, running transition. Great finish by Greg. But, he was absolutely terrific late in the game.
Michael Dawson with a deep 3 from the corner. Boy, it's great to see him shoot the ball like we know he can, Coach.
Yeah, no, he was great. I always say water finds its level, and, you know, great to see him make some shots. But Michael does so much more than just make shots for us. You know, he gets loose balls. He's physical. He blocks out well. He goes to the glass well. He's a good cutter. He understands scouting and schemes that we're trying to play defensively, you know, as a guy who's been with us now for 5 years. And so he adds those things and brings a lot of value regardless of his shot making.
Zips are up 8 with 3:38 left. I thought Caleb Thornton, when he took that charge, that was big there in that
big
second
play.
half.
Watching Caleb sacrifice his body, put his body in the play to win the game. You got to make those type of plays to win games. It takes what it takes. You know, you've got to be willing to dive on the floor, put your body in plays, and Caleb did that. It was a great play for us.
Enrique Freeman has the green light when he wants to shoot that 3.
Yeah, no, he's had it for a couple years. He's finally exercising it, right? So there's Caleb's charge. Great play there by Ali. Draws the attention of the defense on a dribble drive and finds Freeman for the wide open 3. And, there we end up getting good rim protection with Freeman. We're out, we're running. Shema makes a really good pass. Ali maybe could have shot that one there, but was smart. We're using a little bit of time and score, and then just makes a heck of a move here on an inside-out left-hand scoop finish. Dawson probably shouldn't be shooting that one, but he does, and he makes it. So we'll consider that a blessing and move on.
For the game, Coach, you shoot 30 out of 60 for 50%. Really shooting it well at home.
Yeah, shot it well from 3, shot it well from the free throw line. You know, obviously we were very efficient. I thought our ability to take care of the ball in the second half was a big reason we had an offensive explosion in the second half, Joe. I thought that you had 7 turns in the first half. We settled in a little bit better with that in the second half.
Exactly. Big 13-point win for the Zips. We're going to take a break, come back and announce our Players of the Week right after this.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting more than just a technician. You're getting someone who pays attention to your needs and the little things that make a big difference. It takes a dealer you can rely on. And to keep your family warm this winter,
here, let me show you how this works.
it takes Bryant.
Bryant. Whatever it takes.
And to keep your family comfortable, it takes E.H. Roberts Heating and Cooling. Find them at ehroberts.com.
Come on over and check out what we're doing. Let's go!
Here we go now. Here we go now.
Well, it's always fun to announce our Players of the Week after great individual performances. And how about starting with Enrique Freeman? 2 more double-doubles for the week. The totals, 38 points, 27 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 3-pointers. And Coach, his 38 points puts him at 1,686 points in a Zip career. That's good for the number 4 spot. He only has Eric McLaughlin, Len Paul, and Joe Kupik ahead of him. What a career, huh?
Unbelievable. Yeah, and obviously we'll get ready to honor him in this great senior class this upcoming Saturday against Northern at 6 o'clock at home. But, no, just unbelievable. And I thought, again, the last 15 minutes of the Kent game from an offensive and rebounding perspective, he had the full arsenal going inside, threes, free throws, rebounding. I thought he really, really made a major impact on the game and our ability to win it. But, yeah, he's been absolutely terrific and consistent, right?
Yes.
And it's such a, it's such a luxury when you wake up in the morning and know that more than likely he's going to get a double-double tonight.
Exactly.
You can count on that, on his production night after night after night. And as a coach, man, that's pretty special. It's comforting to know, hey, I don't know what's going to happen tonight, but the chances he's going to get a double-double are pretty good.
Exactly.
So, he's been very consistent with that. And it's to no surprise because he's so consistent with his approach and who he is as a person and student and player. He's the same guy every day. He doesn't go with the wind and change based on circumstances, and that's where he gets that consistency from.
Boy, his timing is so unbelievable. He gets off his feet quicker, I think, than anybody in the league.
Yeah, no question. He'll miss his own shot, and we call it Moses Malone rebounds because Moses used to get his own shot back, and Reed does that about as well as anybody. What you're referring to is that second jump.
Exactly. How about Greg Tribble, 6'3" senior, out of Cincinnati Whitten Woods, out of Huntington Prep. Coach, I have watched a lot of basketball, a long time watching Akron basketball. I cannot remember a player who has improved as much as Greg Tribble from when he stepped on campus to where he is right now.
Yeah, it's incredible, especially on the offensive end.
Yeah.
He's always had a gift as a great athlete and defending, and he's really smart. He picked up our system very quickly. As a freshman, both him and Ali, who were a huge part of the rotation on the first championship team, and over the course of 4 or 5 years, he's worked so hard to develop into a good free throw shooter, a good 3-point shooter, an efficient 2-point finisher. Is just having a great year, and has become, as I've said now numerous times, a two-way player.
Right.
He really impacts the game offensively. In fact, the other night, at the end of the presser, he said, look, I'm really trying to challenge myself defensively. I was disappointed that off the ball defensively, I'd relaxed a little bit, and I wanted to turn that up some. And it's interesting because offensively, he's been as consistent, if not more so, than he's been defensively, and he's one of the best defenders in the MAC.
You're right.
So, he's had an incredible year and has been just a huge part of our program and what we're about, and his work capacity, his care factor for winning, and it'll be great to honor him as well, just like we talked about with Reek on Saturday night on Senior Day, 6 o'clock, Northern Illinois.
How about the numbers for Greg this past week? 6 for 9 versus Toledo for 19 points. Then against Kent, how about this? 15 points, 4 rebounds, 3 steals. 4 for 7 and 3-pointers for the week you mentioned his game, Coach. I can't see why people are leaving him open now back to the 3-point line because he's hitting shots.
Yeah, and he's letting them know about it when they leave him open too.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, he's worked very hard, to put himself in that position to where now he's a guy that makes shots and makes them consistently. And part of the reason he shot so well, Joe, is he takes good shots.
Yes, he does.
He takes ones he
Doesn't
can
force anything.
make, both his 2s and his 3s. And so that's a great lesson for younger players. He's part of the reason he's efficient is he plays to his strengths.
Yep. Congratulations to Enrique Freeman and Greg Tribble. We're going to take a break, come back with a scouting report on Ohio and Northern Illinois right after this.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting more than just a technician. You're getting someone who pays attention to your needs and the little things that make a big difference. It takes a dealer you can rely on. And to keep your family warm this winter,
Here, let me show you how this works.
it takes Bryant.
Bryant. Whatever it takes.
And to keep your family comfortable, it takes E.H. Roberts Heating and Cooling. Find them at ehroberts.com.
Come on over and check out what we're doing. Let's go!
Here we go now. Here we go now.
Well, each week our scouting report is brought to you by the Hilton Fairlawn Hotel out at 3180 West Market Street in Akron. Our thanks to them for being with us all season long. Tuesday night in Ohio against a really good Ohio Bobcats team, Coach, and you're very familiar with that arena. That's a tough place to win. After
Really
a road
tough
team.
place to play, and they are rolling.
Yes,
they've
they
won
are.
6 out of 7. I've been watching them obviously extensively here leading into Tuesday, and I think they're playing as well as anyone right now. Obviously they had the one loss was at Toledo where they had, a 2-point lead with about 3 minutes to go at Toledo, and we all know how hard it is to win over there.
Yes.
Offensively, they've been an absolute machine. Their guards are shooting it well. Hadaway's getting better offensively. A.J. Clayton gives you a very unique look in that he's a 5-man who shoots more 3s than 2s. And so it really stretches your defense, makes it very difficult to guard them. And then I think they've gotten better defensively with their numbers from where they were at going into game 1. They're a very, very dangerous team right now. They're playing very, very well. And obviously down there, they've only lost one time, I believe, at home, and that was to Toledo all season. And so we'll have to make sure we're ready to go. We'll have to play well.
Yeah.
Obviously when you go on the road, your defense, your rebounding, and your taking care of the ball has to travel. I think that's gotten us a few times here lately where we've defended just one half, whether it's at James Madison, whether it's at Toledo. We're going to have to be impactful defensively in both halves.
The one thing I noticed about Ohio, looking at them the other day, Coach, they have a lot of experience in the backcourt. They have 2 fifth-year seniors starting for them in the backcourt.
Those guys, and they're good. Sharif Mitchell, the kid they got from Creighton, very good player. Jalen Hunter, good. Miles Brown, good. Elmore James comes off the bench to add to that, and A.J. Sheldon is one of the best 3-point shooters in the Mid-America Conference. And their guard play, very, very good. Very good. So it'll be a real challenge in Athens.
Which brings us to senior night on Saturday night at 6 o'clock. Remember, that's a 6 o'clock tip-off against Northern Illinois. 5 seniors, Enrique Freeman, Ali, Greg Trimble, Sammy Hunter, Caleb Thornton. Want to have a huge crowd for them. Northern Illinois comes in trying to play spoiler, I think, in the league.
Yeah, for sure. Every game you got to play the one that's in front of you.
Yeah.
Obviously, we got to play the Ohio game first, and then the next opportunity we have is against Northern. But the biggest thing that night is it's senior night.
Yes.
So I'm hoping we get a great crowd. That Zips Nation comes out to really support these guys. In fact, there's a women's game
That's
before
right.
ours. We'd love for you to come and see Ryan's team play as well right before ours, and then we'll have short ceremony before, and then we're going to have some neat things going on throughout the game to honor this great senior class that I think the fans will really enjoy.
Looking forward to being there. Hope to see you Saturday for senior night. For head coach John Groce, I'm Joe Dunn. Thanks for watching. Back next week. Always remember, go Zips. Thanks for watching. Zips Weekly with John Groce. Sponsored by Bryant Heating and Cooling and the Hilton Hotels in Akron and Fairlawn.
This has been a presentation from Learfield IMG College.